Thank you. I think we are at the very end of 2 days of conference, and this very last session is kind of having the Bangkok Declaration, which is coming out from the summary of the discussion of various sessions over the last 2 days. So I'm really thankful to the people who worked hard, especially Dr. Probit De, and Sanim team, and of course Dr. Srinath, Ambassador Sumithana Kandala, to come up with this document. Just to assure you that this document is not the perfect summary of the discussion, because it is not possible to do it in a very short time. Our Sanim research team, they are working on to come up with a meaningful summary of or exact summary of each session, and which we will share with you as a conference proceedings later on with all of you. So the whole idea of this Bangkok Declaration is that we really want to show our commitment to this BIMSTEC process. And also I'm very grateful to have Mr. Shewang Dorjiti, who is the Director Environment and Climate Change, BIMSTEC Secretary at Dhaka, who is here with us. And we really want to share this declaration with him, and we'd expect that this the declaration, the kind of summary of the discussion, would be taken into consideration in the forthcoming BIMSTEC summit. So let me read out a few pages. It is not very long, so I can assure you, because we are already a bit late. So Third Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue 2024, the New World Order and BIMSTEC, curtain raiser to the 6th BIMSTEC Summit, and which took place on 11-12 July 2024 at the Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand. BIMSTEC started its journey in 1997 in Bangkok, where the 4 countries of the Bay of Bengal region, namely Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, convened a meeting and jointly formed a new subgroup on 6 June 1997 by the name BIST-TEC, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand Economic Cooperation. Myanmar attended this summit as an observer and obtained full membership in December that year. To acknowledge the additional membership, the acronym was changed to BIMSTEC. Subsequently, Nepal and Bhutan also joined in 2004. In the first summit of heads of government held on 31st July 2004, the leaders of the group formally announced the complete name of the grouping as the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, in short, BIMSTEC. In 2011, a permanent secretariat was established in Dhaka. At the highest level, 5 BIMSTEC summits have been held so far, one in 2004 in Bangkok, 2008 in Delhi, 2014 in Nay Pei Tho, 2018 in Kathmandu, and 2022 in Colombo. India hosted the BRICS BIMSTEC outreach meeting at Goa in October 2016. Thailand, the current chair of the BIMSTEC, is going to host the 6th BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok in 2024. To commemorate the 6th BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok in 2024, South Asian Network on Economic Modeling, SANEM, in collaboration with the Chulalongkorn University, Institute of Trade and Development, ITD, and the Asia Foundation, organized the Third Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue titled The New World Order and BIMSTEC as curtain raiser to the 6th BIMSTEC Summit. This 2-day international conference was attended by over 100 senior experts, scholars, diplomats, and practitioners, both in person and virtual modes. Besides inaugural and valedictory sessions, a total 6 plenary sessions and a special session were organized. This conference was also the follow-up conference that SANEM organized in October 2022 in Bangkok at the sideline of 5th BIMSTEC Summit. The geographical contiguity, abundant natural and human resources, rich historical linkages, and shared cultural heritage are some of the unique advantages that BIMSTEC enjoys. BIMSTEC shares high trade potential and economic complementarities. Not only an energy hotspot, BIMSTEC's strategic location is its greatest asset. BIMSTEC becomes highly relevant in the following ways. First, BIMSTEC, with its unique geographical location, can play the role of bridging South Asia and Southeast Asia through trade and connectivity. Second, BIMSTEC member states are surrounded by the Bay of Bengal, which is not only a space to support regional trade and transport connectivity, but it also connects international maritime trade routes between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Maritime and digital connectivity are the key trade and security. Third, BIMSTEC member states are a powerhouse in some of the global products such as garments in Bangladesh, digital service in India, maritime services Sri Lanka, consumer durables Thailand, tourism Nepal and Bhutan, among others. Therefore, greater intra and inter-regional cooperation may pave the way for higher trade and growth. Global growth is not expected to be high in immediate years due mainly to polycrisis and rising bipolarism. BIMSTEC today is in a disordered world. De-risking, decoupling, and deconfiguration of production away from Asia's largest market amid trade tensions are on rise. Trade barriers are rising across the world. Crises like Red Sea are forcing the countries moving towards nearshoring and or multi-shoring sourcing. There are rising challenges in the areas of SDGs, economic and social environment. Therefore, economic and geopolitical forces are reshaping the global order. In such an unfolding situation, these conferences are organized, regional cooperation integration the best way forward. Although the BIMSTEC has made some tangible progress in recent years, the region requires additional push to scale up to a higher level. Global uncertainties are yet to be over, and the BIMSTEC faces several challenges, both in economic and non-economic areas. Deeper regional understanding on global challenges provides sustainable solutions. BIMSTEC countries need to work on governance, connectivity, and trade facilitation. Disaster management, climate issues, particularly green financing, counterterrorism, global value chains, digitalization, cross-border digital payment, and interoperability, foreign direct investment, implementation of the BIMSTEC Master Plan of Transport Connectivity, among others. There are many interesting developments in BIMSTEC. Some of the BIMSTEC member states like Bangladesh and Nepal will graduate out of the LDC status. The period between 5th and 6th summits appeared to be a phase of energetic engagements. The conference has noted some major developments. Out of 7 members, 6 countries have established democratic governments and or rules-based democratic practices. Regional programs are followed based on need, supported by democratic values and governance. Good governance also means good economies. Toward the direction, BIMSTEC has introduced the BIMSTEC Charter in 2022 and implemented it in June 2024. Following the 19th ministerial meeting in Bangkok in early 2023, a number of new areas of cooperation emerged. During the meeting, the ministers considered and approved several key documents emanating from decisions of BIMSTEC summits, including the rules of procedures for core BIMSTEC mechanisms, i.e. the summit, the ministerial meeting, the senior officials meeting, and the BIMSTEC Permanent Working Committee. Then the BIMSTEC sectoral mechanisms and BIMSTEC external relations. The rules of procedures will be submitted to the 6th summit for adoption. BIMSTEC has set up an eminent persons group which is mandated and to make recommendations on the future directions of BIMSTEC. The agreement on maritime transport cooperation, which is expected to be signed during the 6th summit, and the BIMSTEC Bangkok Vision 2030, which is to be launched during the 6th summit. BIMSTEC foreign ministers had their first retreat in Bangkok in July 2023 and second retreat in 2024 in Delhi. BIMSTEC leaders have tasked the working group on rules of origin to build on the progress made during the 21st meeting to finalize the rules for determination of origin of goods and operational certification procedures and product-specific rules as a priority in order to finalize the agreement on trade in goods of the BIMSTEC FTA. Besides the BIMSTEC transport connectivity, working group has been instructed to expedite implementation of the agreed activities under the BIMSTEC Master Plan for Transport Connectivity. BIMSTEC leaders have asked to initiate the process of drafting the standard operating procedure according to the Agreement on Maritime Transport Cooperation for discussion in the Joint Shipping Committee. They have also urged the working group to finalize the concept note of the BIMSTEC Framework Agreement on transit, transshipment, and movement of vehicular traffic between among BIMSTEC member countries in order to facilitate the formulation of the draft framework agreement. The conference has emphasized simultaneous negotiation and finalization of the BIMSTEC Motor Vehicle Agreement for the regulation of passenger, personal, and cargo vehicular traffic between and among BIMSTEC member countries. Regional cooperation has high potential in BIMSTEC. Conference has provided several recommendations on gender and trade, digital economy, governance, environment and climate, digital public infrastructure, SDGs, GVCs, among others. Stronger digital integration may help embracing sustainable digital transformation as a way to prosperity. It will also strengthen the GVC formation in the region. Greater engagement of the private sector will have a long-lasting impact on the regional integration in BIMSTEC. Creating a Bay of Bengal investment fund to support the entrepreneur projects is recommended. To move in this direction, this conference has recommended strong political leadership. While these developments are certainly strengthening the foundation of BIMSTEC, institutions can only sustain if we promote strong governance in it. Strengthening governance is only possible through the protection and promotion of a vibrant and constructive space for civil society. By promoting reforms in governance and enhancing accountability practices, civil society organizations can significantly contribute to more effective and equitable development outcomes. Regional cooperation can be identified as a vital part for sharing best practices and strengthening governance. Conference has recommended writing a non-white paper or governance. Trade is one of the priority areas for BIMSTEC. However, BIMSTEC is yet to make substantial progress in the reduction of non-tariff barriers, streamlining regulatory frameworks, and harmonization of standards. BIMSTEC leaders have urged the Trade Negotiating Committee and its working groups to accelerate the finalization of BIMSTEC Free Trade Agreement area and its constituent agreements, including their annexures. They have also tasked the working group on rules of origin to build on the progress made during its 21st meeting to finalize the rules for determination of origin of goods and operational certification procedures and product-specific rules as a priority in order to finalize the agreement on trade in goods of the BIMSTEC FTA. Trade and transit facilitations must be given top priority along with energy and digital connectivity. The conference recommended that BIMSTEC FTA should be concluded in a year's time. Productivity enhancement, knowledge exchange, and mutual recognition of standards and certification, paperless trade, energy cooperation, etc., can make the BIMSTEC FTA more effective and to translate comparative advantage into competitive advantage. Conference has recommended setting up a digital dashboard on trade barriers with coverage on NTMs. On the other hand, BIMSTEC-wide through transit is felt essential in order to scale up the integration. Enhancing regional identity and cooperation through regular institutional meetings and the establishment of a BIMSTEC development fund are important. BIMSTEC's cooperation with MDBs such as the AIIB, NDB, etc. shall be strengthened. BIMSTEC Technology Bank is a project that is envisaged to offer many important leads in regional development. These programs may lead to transforming the region's competitive advantage into competitive advantage. To enhance people-to-people interactions among member countries, initiatives such as educating youth about BIMSTEC importance, expanding educational exchange programs, investing in cross-border infrastructure, facilitating affordable digital connectivity need to be promoted. Education can be identified as a powerful tool for creating connections with the inauguration of integrated scholarship programs. The student exchange programs at the school level may also be impactful in cultural exchange. Exchange of parliamentarians, scholars, etc. are important to strengthen regional integration in BIMSTEC. Gender gap in trade is wide and growing. Conferences call for gender equality in particular formulation of the trade policy. Women lack funding, venues, and opportunities to market their products and engage in cross-border trade. Conference has called for adopting comprehensive measures to promote women-led entrepreneurship. their access to finance, marketing assistance, helping to startups, access to facilities, etc. Building enabling environments for women in trade will help us in setting up in place an equitable and integrated BIMSTEC. Without a stronger secretariat, BIMSTEC integration may not be able to infuse the needed momentum. BIMSTEC secretariat requires funding, skilling of resources, financial support, etc. The BIMSTEC secretariat operates with limited financial resources. Inadequate funding hampers its capacity to implement projects, organize events, and facilitate cooperation among member countries. There is a need to allocate sufficient financial resources to the secretariat to drive meaningful initiatives. Bangladesh is going to take over the chairmanship of BIMSTEC Forum Thailand after the 6th summit. The conference identified a set of supportive recommendations leading to add further momentum. Organizers of the third Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue thank the host, Chulalongkorn University, for extending an excellent support and cooperation in organizing the curtain raiser to the 6th BIMSTEC Summit. Participants of the conference appreciated the BIMSTEC Secretariat and the Secretary Generals, both former and current, for wholehearted support to the program. The Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue has been grateful to the Asia Foundation for extending the variable support. The organizers are equally grateful to the UNESCO for their support and participation. This declaration is handed over to the BIMSTEC Director, Mr. Shewang Dorji T, and requested him to report it back to the 6th BIMSTEC Summit. With this, I think it was been a long reading, but I thought that it was necessary to give it a kind of provide a summary of the discussion over the last 2 days. So with this, may I request Dr. Sininath to join me to hand over this declaration to Mr. Dorji. May I now request Mr. Dorji to share a few words?
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the BIMSTEC Secretariat, I would like to receive this declaration with privilege, and I assure that this declaration will serve as an ingredient to the upcoming summit declaration, as well as future BIMSTEC deliberations and initiatives. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers for organizing this very important Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue. In terms of timing, I think it couldn't be more timely, as we are just less than 2 months to summit, which will happen in September of this year. And for kind information, all the member states have already conveyed their concurrence to the summit. So it's very likely that summit will take place as scheduled in September. In the last 1.5 days, I must say that the interactions, discussions, remarks by distinguished panelists, participants have been like very stimulating and enriching. And I have already taken note of all the very rich and useful recommendations and suggestions, and then definitely it will serve as good ingredients for any future BIMSTEC initiatives and deliberations. I would also like to take this opportunity to share a few points on some of the recommendations that were highlighted during last 1.5 days. First one is on the annual report. Again, this is for kind information. From this year, we have already initiated the biennial report to member states. Just before coming here, we have shared our half-yearly report to all member states, updating on the sectors of cooperation and what initiatives members should take on the pending issues. So like this will be now our annual report uh, through secretariat initiatives, which will update all the member states and then wherever their actions required. Then on the strengthening of secretariat, I think it came up very frequently in almost all the panel discussions. We acknowledge BMSTEC secretariat needs to be strengthened, and then like I think our former Secretary General, His Excellency Ambassador Sumit may agree with me. Like there is institutional and human capacity constraint at the secretariat. Nevertheless, I think compared to Secretary General Secretary General's time, and then if you compare now, I think we have come a long way. First Secretary General during his time maybe at the most five staff. Now at least we have in terms of number also 31 at the moment, and then like we also have 5 directors. During his time only 1 director, then later another director joined. So currently we have 5 directors and then 2 more to join from Sri Lanka as a replace Sri Lanka and India. So we have like good staff, good strength, but we still lack capacity. And then the focus of the member states and the secretariat is to strengthen with regard to our human resource and institutional capacity at the secretariat. Then in terms of then again like there was I think this also came up very prominently during 1.5 days. Like BMSTEC need to partner with external organizations. So this also like this is nothing new. Initiatives have already been taken. If I may update, like we already have a formal partnership with Asian Development Bank in the form of MOU signed in 2002, and then few joint activities already taken between 2 organizations. Then we also have formal relation with the International Food Policy Research Institute, signed MOU in the beginning of 2023, and during the upcoming summit, one of the expected deliverables will be signing of MOU with 4 or 5 international organizations. Number one, with the World Bank, even the draft text of the MOU with World Bank is more or less finalized, and the area of focus will be on public health. The other one with UNESCO, based here in Bangkok, and even we are also like going to formalize partnership with UNODC on drugs related issues. Then also with Indian Ocean Rim, Indian Ocean Rim associations. And in terms of funding support, there was a recommendation like we need to mobilize fund for projects and BMSTEC activities. So initiatives have already been taken at the secretariat level. Like for instance, the discussion already started on like establishing BMSTEC development fund. The discussion is at very initial stage, and then like other also like while we are having conversation with our external partners. So one of the ingredients of discussion is on how we can like mobilize fund for BMSTEC activities. Then maybe on like again, very important recommendation was enhancing BMSTEC visibility. So that is also like we are very much aware at the secretariat, and like at secretariat level, we are also trying our best to enhance BMSTEC's visibility in the region and beyond. The matter of the fact currently is like forget like only officials, those dealing with BMSTEC, they know what BMSTEC is, even in our region. Then apart from that, like people really don't know what BMSTEC is. And now finally, apart from this delivery, that signing of MOU with few international organizations, I would also like to mention that few expected deliverables at the summit would be Bangkok Vision 2030 and the EPG report, because now in the coming week, EPG will have their final meeting and finalize the recommendations. So main purpose of EPG formation is to revamp, repurpose, and reassess what BMSTEC has been doing so far. So this is the most critical expected deliverables during the upcoming summit. So with this, I would like to end by saying that yes, there are issues and challenges for BMSTEC countries to move forward, but nevertheless, BMSTEC is poised to move forward, and then given sufficient adequate institutional mechanism, as well as other ingredients, BIMSTEC is poised to take the regional cooperation forward for a peaceful and secure region, Bay of Bengal region. Thank you.
So now the final very few words about the vote of thanks. On behalf of SANEM, my sincere thanks to Dr. Srinath and her team and the Chulalongkorn University. I think it's a big hand to her. And Tithia also, because she's part of the team who did marvelous job, excellent job. And thank you so much, Dr. Srinath. I also thank Asia Foundation for providing substantial support in having us here in Bangkok. I know Zakaria is here. Thank you. Of course, BIMSTEC Secretariat, Mr. Dorji, and of course, BIMSTEC Secretary General, who was very keen. I met him personally, who was very keen to come here personally and to interact with us. But because of the clash of the events, because the same day, he's in Delhi now. But with sincere regards to him because he sent his recorded message. Also, very much thankful to the partner organizations, including ITD, to host this event. All chairs, special guests, and panelists. I think fantastic the way you spoke in different sessions. I think in my memory, this this is the best event on this regional issues. I think in the recent time. So thank you so much. Very finally, I'm also very proud of my SANEM team. Here there are two, it's Arshibur Rahman and Takrim Shured. They also from the, some of you who actually traveled from various parts of BIMSTEC countries, they arranged and managed the travel. And also back home, there is a team who is working on streamlining the sessions on social media, as well as preparing the summary of the different sessions. So with this, I'd like to hand over the microphone to or request Dr. Srinath to say the final words.
Thank you very much, Professor Selen. I would say that from on my side here, I would say like a big thank to our extreme speaker. So your thought and idea already let us understand more about BIMSTEC and we can move together. Second, also thank to the partner, SANEM, ITD, and also Asia Foundation. With your support, and that's how we organize this event here. My special thanks go to the staff here from ITD, also from the Faculty of Economics, and especially to ASEAN Studies Center, Kuntitiya outside and Don here. Without them, we cannot come up with this type of event here. Also to the participant, your presence is really highlight contribute to this event as well. In conclusion, let's continue, collaborate, learn, and work together toward a stronger BIMSTEC community. So with that, I will say once again, thank you, and may our shared effort lead to prosperity of our region. Thank you very much. And from that one, I will say that let's start some connectivities. So just one more slide, if you may. ASEAN Study Center, we're gonna organize July ASEAN Week. This is the 11th time here every year. So it's gonna happen next month. You can participate via the Facebook Live as well. So the theme gonna be like reshaping ASEAN toward an inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future. To stay tuned and get connected. So please feel free to follow our Facebook, and any update, we're gonna keep it there. Keep in touch and have a good time in Bangkok, and wish you guys fly back home safely. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much to the panelists, participants, scholars, and distinguished guests to be with us for 1.5 days. Last but not least, why won't we have the good picture together once in front of the main auditorium on the 8th